mate. Nice to see you. All right, Guy. Very nice to see you.
See that, boys? Go, Bluey.
Edward, how
Hello,
are you?
mate. Edward, there we go. We're getting all formal. Bluey McKenna, one of the greatest players for the West Coast Eagles. 267 games, 24 finals, 2 premierships for the West Coast Eagles, 4-time and All-Australian and West Coast captain 99 to 2000, mate. Welcome aboard. Peter Daicos, 250 games, a premiership for the Pies, 2 best and fairest, 5 times leading goal kicker. AFL Hall of Famer, Collingwood legend and Hall of Famer. Dakes, let's go to you first of all, mate, because I want to talk to you both about a game that you played in, which probably in a lot of ways led to now having no replay grand final. That was the drawn final of 1990, which eventually led to Collingwood winning the grand final. Dakes, let's have a look at this. One of my favourite bits of play here, where it was Darren Mullane coming in, cleaning up Johnny Worsfold, Gavin Brown over the top, to Darren Mullane with a broken thumb, to Peter Daicos, who kicks the miracle goal.
You're lucky there's no down-the-ground footage back then, Pete, because I'm pretty sure there would have been a few guys screaming for it in the corridor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No widescreen.
We're rolling on here. This was the kick after the siren for Peter Simic. Needed to kick a goal to win for the game, kick the point, so it was a draw. Everyone came back. Peter, tell us your thoughts of this game.
Well, Ed, that was a great moment. I know it's been replayed quite a few times, and you hit it on the head. I mean, Pants actually flicked it over. If you watch it closely, actually,
Darren Mullane.
Darren Mullane. He sort of open-handed because he'd had his hand busted, a couple of breaks there, his scaphoid bone, and I did, believe it or not, think about centering it just for a split second. But
You did centre it, mate, right through the middle.
yeah, no, look, it was, yeah, look. If you have to repeat it, you know, sort of, I'm sure I wouldn't get it.
Plenty of times.
Oh, not like that,
Yes, you
Sammy,
did.
not like that.
What
No.
did that moment in the game mean for Collingwood's 1990 season, though?
Oh, well, look, it was all about finishing, and you know that was one of the fortunate ones. But look, it kept us close because West Coast, you know, came across town and they were really at us. I mean, I think we were 1-1. I think we were 1 each through the year. They gave us a pasting first round, and then we got them back. So we went in as favourites, but it didn't pan out that way, so it was important.
Not until that moment. It looked like Collingwood was going to lose, and that excited the crowd, got everybody going, and got the draw, won the next week. Just if you thought that was a fluke, have a look at the 2 goals. Simon Madden, shut your eyes here, mate. We're about to show Peter's 2 goals in the grand final of 1990. Watch these 2. Collingwood hadn't scored a goal. 17-minute mark, first quarter. And then, for good measure, second quarter, need a spark, something.
This is where he's at his best.
What does finals football mean to the Magpies?
Oh, it's no different to any other team. I mean, it's important. I mean, no, but for us in that final series, I mean, I'd been on the end with, say, Banksy and Churi, been on a few losses, so we didn't get an opportunity again for another 9 years. So just to get that opportunity was huge for us.
And for you, did you make it a moment in time for yourself, Peter, to play a big game in a final?
Oh, you always go out
You
wanting
spoke to
play.
Joe Montana one time, didn't you? Before.
No, yeah, that was 92. That was organised by the club. You know, I wasn't getting a kick, so that's why that was teed up. But no, look, finals is what it's all about as a player, for sure. I mean, that's what you look back on, and team success is really what I hang my hat on.
So, Guy, they're not quite there yet, of course, the West Coast Eagles, but they've got as good a chance as any, as they say. And what are your memories of the finals you played in the grand finals?
Oh, the grand finals, especially in '91, we don't count because that was out at Waverley. Although I think the Hawthorn people do. Yeah, '92 and '94, yeah, very special. '92 especially, it was like the America's Cup.
I'm going to say, would have got Perth and Western Australia up and about, mate.
Yes, it was. It was. You could see shots back in when we were playing the grand final. The streets were empty. Well, we were unaware of that, of course, but. When we got back to Perth, it was just enormous from the airport out to Subiaco. Every man and his dog was lining the streets.
Bluey, take us through that draw for you guys. Had you won that, it would have just changed the whole complexion of the finals. Poor old Suma just missed.
Yeah, look, I think 22, 21 of us were walking off with our heads bowed, thinking, oh, here we go, we've got to get on the plane, fly back home, then fly back for another final. And there was one player who I think he's still got his first dollar, Fatty Lamb. He was jumping around for back in those days, these blokes wouldn't understand it, but you actually had match payments back then. So he thought it was great because he's going to get another match payment.
Fantastic.
All of us, we were as flat as biscuits, of course, but Fatty Lamb was jumping for joy. But it was obviously tough, and it was funny flying across because the drawn final I'd played on Gavin Brown, kicked 4. Woosher had played on Dakes, he'd kicked 4 as well. So that was 8 of the 12 goals they kicked. In the return game, I kept Brownie to 4. Woosher had kept Dakes to 4, but they kicked the 8 of the 19 goals.